SportsCenter with Jay and presented by McDonald's with our special guest co-host Lindsay Hamilton. Hi, Lindsay.
Hello.
Great to have. Now, you were with us on yesterday's show as well.
I was.
And during that television program, I made an exciting and what I thought was a pretty safe proclamation about Monday's Washington-Pittsburgh Steelers matchup. Let's take a listen.
You think the Steelers are just going to keep rolling?
I mean, at the risk of stating the obvious, but you should watch to find out.
Absolutely. Wow, Jay, what a prediction. What a prediction.
Right?
Well, let's see for ourselves. Alex Smith up against Ben Roethlisberger. He's the fastest average release time in the NFL. Throwing the ball in less than 2.5 seconds after the snap. Second quarter, first and goal. That's a quick release from Roethlisberger. Finds Deontay Johnson in the end zone as the Steelers strike first. Later in the half, yet another quick strike from Big Ben. James Washington goes 50 yards for his 4th touchdown of the year. Now the Steelers can become the 9th team to start 12-0 since 1978. A reminder for you, they have won 6 straight against Washington. Late in the half we go. Alex Smith takes a cleat to his lower left leg. Yikes. Now that's not the one he had 17 surgeries on, but he's leaking. Still, didn't miss a snap.
I guess Alex Smith is just fine out there warming up like it's no big deal. It's a scratch. Well, it's a little bit more than a scratch, I would say.
Yeah, that looks pretty vicious. That's ugly there. 4th quarter now. Alex Smith from the 15-yard line. And he connects with Logan Thomas in the end zone. Smith takes a hit from TJ Watt to make the play. This game tied at 17 with 9 to play. Ensuing Steelers possession, facing a 4th and 1 in field goal range. The Steelers going for Roethlisberger to Anthony McFarland, but it's incomplete. Gives Smith and Washington the chance to pull ahead. To Smith facing a 3rd down, trying to move it over midfield. And he goes deep to Cam Sims. Check out the catch here. Only needs one hand. That led to a field goal. Now Roethlisberger, he's marching down the field, and he is desperately trying to tie this game up. Wow, the first and only turnover in the game coming with 2 minutes left. It is Roethlisberger's 3rd straight game with an INT. The Steelers' win streak stopped at 11. Lose for the first time in 2020 while Washington picks up their first win against the Steelers since 1991. Win 3 straight games for the first time since 2018 and are tied for the NFC East lead as all of Jay's predictions, well, you know what happened. So this
Can't win them all.
No, you cannot. This was just Pittsburgh's 2nd loss when leading by 14+ points since drafting Big Ben back in 2004. They had been 109-1-1 in that situation. Well, Washington wins for the first time in their last 7 contests against the Steelers, winning for the first time since 1991.
I have to be honest, I thought Coach Tomlin would be a lot more angry than that. The other half of the Monday Night Football doubleheader featured the Bills playing the Niners in Arizona. Arizona. Didn't Buffalo play there just 3 weeks ago? Hail Murray. Producer Tim's heart was broken that day. He's never been the same since. Last time Buffalo won a Monday Night Football, 1999. Doug Flutie and company beating the Dolphins. And coincidentally, the Dolphins are the team the Bills are trying to hold off for that AFC East lead. Josh Allen setting up Buffalo in the red zone through a tight window. 1st and goal, Cole Beasley, 4th TD of the season. They are calling this celebration the Rockabye Beasley.
How sweet.
Okay. And then they changed him, which was weird. Then Allen to Dawson Knox. That's just a terrific name for a football player. Allen, 19 for 23 in the first half. Bills led by 10. San Francisco's top 5 passing defense fell off in the second half. Niners defensive back Darius Moore loses Isaiah McKenzie. Bills looking for their 5th win in 6 games. They're up by 10 after 3. And in the 4th quarter, Richard Sherman, Stanford grad, getting no safety help. Gabriel Davis wide open. Josh Allen, just an incredible stat line. 32 of 40, 375 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Your Buffalo Bills are 9-3. The San Francisco 49ers are 5-7, and believe it or not, they are still in playoff contention. I'll talk to you about that in just a second. But I just wanted to also mention that Josh Allen has 4 games this season with 300 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. That would pass Drew Bledsoe in 2002 and Jim Kelly in 1991 for the most in a season in Bills history. You tell all the Bills love Josh Allen. He was trying to do that interview with Lisa Salters after the game. They were coming up to him. They were massaging his shoulders, patting his bum, et cetera, et cetera.
They
Bottom line is they wanted in on that Josh Allen action. You are absolutely right about that, Lindsay Hamilton. KC, by the way, yeah, Pittsburgh 11-1. They haven't clinched this playoff spot officially. KC, the only team to have done that. They pulled that off on Sunday. By the way, the Bills and the Dolphins play each other again in the final week of the season. That could potentially be very interesting. The NFC East has become slightly more interesting after being a laughingstock for the entire season. The Giants in first at 5-7. They've got the tiebreaker over the also 5-7 Washington Football Club after beating them in both matchups so far this year, which leads us to the Coors side seats. And our friend Jabari Greer, the former Buffalo Bill. Jabari, the Bills picking up their first Monday Night Football win this century. Josh Allen, another strong night outing. Were you surprised, Jabari, the way Buffalo was able to move the football seemingly at will?
Well, a couple of things. I think I was most surprised at the way that Josh Allen did 2 things. First, his accuracy. He was over 70% today. He was throwing the ball down the field, had over 300 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. He seemed like he put the ball on the money every single time. And the second thing I was most surprised about with Josh Allen was the way that he moved in the pocket. Now, we know that Josh Allen is a quarterback that can run the football. As soon as he get out of the pocket, we know that Josh Allen looks to run that football. But what I saw from Josh Allen is a quarterback that looks more like Russell Wilson, looks more like Aaron Rodgers, a quarterback that looks to pass first, looks to extend the pocket and to pass the ball down the field. And this is what he did. Had over 200 yards in the first half. Gave Cole Beasley a gift tonight. Made him a lot of money having over 100 yards in the first half. He had a lot of opportunities moving in the pocket, throwing the ball down the field. Josh Allen took a step to be one of the upper echelon quarterbacks in the NFL tonight.
Jabari, let's go back to the earlier game because the Alex Smith, Ron Rivera story, frankly, just keeps getting better. Washington comes back from 14 down, beats the previously undefeated Steelers. All in all, what went wrong for Pittsburgh in the second half of that game?
Well, I think you had to look at what went right for the Washington football team. First, specifically, it was Alex Smith and the way that he was able to weather the storm in the first half. In the second half, he was consistent, found a lot of security in Logan Thomas, J.D. McKissick. These guys really came through for Alex Smith. But specifically on the defensive side for the Washington football team, the front 4, they got after Ben Roethlisberger over and over again. 3 tip balls. Montez Sweat came up with the play of the game, tipping the football. As a defensive line, if you cannot rush the quarterback, if you're not going to get him, you got to get your hands up. John Bostic came down with the interception. They got after Ben Roethlisberger, and they are a team that's playing. They've won 3 out of the last 4. They're playing really well right now. Washington football team is in contention for the NFC East. They're not playing.
It's incredible to think about. It's incredible to say. Jabari Greer, thank you so much. And by the way, this week of football isn't over. Tuesday night, it is the Dallas Cowboys and Baltimore Ravens. Can the Cowboys continue the NFC East upset trend? I'm going to predict no, and that'll probably come back to haunt me once again. Des Bryant, of course, now with the Ravens, should be interesting. And yes, Lamar Jackson, reigning MVP, will come off the COVID list and start for Baltimore. You can see it Tuesday at 8 Eastern, and then stay with us after the game for another post-game show with myself and Lindsay Hamilton.
All right, shifting gears to hockey and questions that have been on everyone's minds. When will the NHL season start? Where will games be played? And will 2021 be a better year than 2020? I don't have the answer to that third question, but thanks to Darren Dreger, we do have some progress.
For hockey fans, it is a glimmer of hope because now both sides are dialed in on getting the 2020-21 NHL regular season underway. On Sunday, the NHLPA made a proposal to the National Hockey League that offered additional salary deferral in exchange for CBA improvements for the players. Now, the PA's proposal was rejected by the NHL. So it now appears that the league and the PA will continue to work with the existing collective bargaining agreement, which was agreed to in July. The focus will be entirely on the protocols for the 2020-21 season, the regular season schedule, as well as a critical dates calendar. January 13th is the target date for the start of the NHL regular season. However, because of the divisional changes, an NHL Board of Governors vote is required for the final approval. The money issues aren't going to go away. This is something that we're going to be talking about and reporting on, I'm sure, throughout the season and perhaps after the conclusion of the 2020-21 season as well. The NHL made its recommendations for amendments that were deemed unacceptable by the National Hockey League Players Association. And as we said, the NHLPA made its proposal on Sunday, and that was rejected by the NHL. So the two sides have put their differences apart, and now they're focusing on the protocols and getting the game back on the ice.
Quite the update. All right, we're just getting started. Still to come on the show, the Toronto Raptors become the latest team to be hit with COVID-19 issues. We've got the details next. Welcome back to the show. In NBA news, the Toronto Raptors have announced 3 members of the organization have tested positive for COVID-19. All 3 members who were not identified will continue to self-isolate away from the team.
We announced today we had full training camp today. We're comfortable that 3 cases were isolated. There was no contact tracing went through. There's been no further positive tests, so we're confident that we can continue with basketball. It's an enormous challenge, right? It's a logistical challenge. It's a health challenge. It's a, human challenge that we're all going through. It's constantly on our mind. At the same time, we're trying to prepare for an NBA season. As I'm sure, most of us are seeing around the sports landscape, this was bound to happen. So we just wanted to make sure we had, everything kind of tied up, and continuing to review, continuing to educate, continuing to have awareness with our players, coaches, and staff, almost on a daily basis. The nature of our positive test, we feel comfortable. There's not further, but it's not to say that a week from now or 2 weeks from now or in the middle of the season when we're on the road in Brooklyn that we're not going to have this again. And so we'll continue to confront those challenges. But I do think from a professional matter, basketball is our livelihood. It's the livelihood of these players, coaches, and a number of staff. And so we think following the protocols, we can get through this.
All right, let's go walk over to the other side of the studio, Lindsay.
Love it. A little opportunity to stretch the legs.
We got a little too cheeky with the NFC East, and they battled back tonight and showed us what's what.
Still terrible. Womp, womp, womp.
TFC's Alejandro Pozuelo, Lindsay, has been named the 2020 Landon Donovan Major League Soccer MVP. An all-star campaign in 2019, Pozuelo becomes the 2nd TFC player to win the award, joining Sebastian Giovinco, who won it in 2015.
Hey, Alejandro. I'm the surprise interviewer here. How are you?
I don't speak good English, but I try to speak with you.
Okay, so Alejandro, I'm here to tell you that you are the MLS MVP this year.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
¿No está aquí? Entra. Tienes que decirle felicidades. Sí. Dile felicidades. Para un abrazo.
Muchas gracias.
Hug your dad now! Despite leading the MLS in combined goals and assists, Pozuelo was still in shock when he spoke to the media from his tiny chair.
I still don't believe it, but it's true. It's difficult because I'm very normal person, and when I speak with the players or with Alejandra, and she told me, you don't know what is the repercussion to win this trophy. But like I say, I'm very normal, and I don't know the repercussion to win the MVP to the MLS. But when maybe tomorrow or after tomorrow, when I saw everybody in Instagram or in the press to speak, but maybe I can believe more. But now I still don't believe.
Here we go, Pozuelo. You see the final percentage of the vote, 35%, but take a look at the player percentage. Actually, it was Diego Rossi from LAFC who beat him in that portion of the voting.
It's pretty incredible what Alejandro Pozuelo achieved, because you think of 2020 and how weird of a year it's been for so many sports, but not only did he succeed on the field, obviously, as the boys were mentioned, he's a leader off the field, and, you know, he's under contract with the Reds through next season, so it'll be interesting to see.
If you're a supporter of the team, you love having that guy under contract. And, you know, he talked about he's more comfortable with English, and he's, you know, he's doing interviews in English now. So, yeah, everything's looking up. But those kids better hug their dad. Lakers star LeBron James spoke on Monday about being named one of the 5 winners of Sports Illustrated's 2020 Sports Person of the Year. LeBron, the first person to win the award 3 times. He also did so in 2012 and 2016. Yeah, 2 more seasons, Davis and LeBron guaranteed to be playing for the Lakers.
And you think about LeBron, I mean, he just won a title back in October. It's a pretty quick turnaround. And he had a Christmas vacation planned because he didn't think the season would start until January. But no, on Christmas Day, he'll be facing the Mavs. LeBron will be right back at it. You don't feel for him at all.
Oh, my God. Give me a break.
But just think, he probably hasn't gone on a Christmas vacation with his family in a really long time.
I don't care.
I don't really have too much sympathy for him either.
Everyone's struggling. Restaurants are struggling. I don't care about LeBron's Christmas vacation.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think the gifts will be plentiful. The stockings will be filled.
They'll be good. Did you see his daughter got an entire home?
I did see that.
Right?
I was a little jealous of his daughter's crib.
That's lovely. That's
a lot nicer than my condo.
But if you can build entire homes for your child, then maybe you don't need Christmas vacation.
Maybe no Christmas vacay. I'm sure it'll be lovely. All right. Well, in other NBA news, Masai Ujiri is trying to bring a little Canadian luck to the Raptors' temporary home down in Tampa Bay as he places a toonie underneath the court. Nice little Canadian touch there for the Raps as they begin the season down south. Yes, the Toronto Raptors will not be spending Christmas in cold Canada, but rather in the sunny tropical temperatures of Florida. Now this, of course, the toonie placement goes back to 2002. Yeah. And, of course, the Olympics, and we know the success it has brought, so I like it.
It's great. I love that this continues to become a tradition, you know, for not just sports played on ice, but obviously hard court sports. And has TFC ever done this, thrown a toonie into the pitch or anything like that?
They should. Also, who's finding cash these days? In COVID, everyone's using tap. Who even has a toonie lying around?
It's in their couches. It's in somebody's couch.
Deep in their car console.
Yes, indeed. Monday was the final day of Team Canada's 2-week quarantine at the World Junior Selection Camp. The players are hoping to be back on the ice Tuesday, and it's obviously going to take some time to get those legs going again.
Yeah, it'll for sure be a tough one. Kind of sitting around a hotel. There's nothing you can really simulate to being back on the ice. And we've been riding bikes at workout every morning, but I think it'll be a lot better being able to get back on the ice. And I'm sure Bear will have a good practice planned out for us. We've been locked in a hotel for 14 days now without any sunlight or fresh air. So it'll be good to get back outside.
Sounds a little like prison.
Well, and we had Cole Perfetti on the podcast last week, and he said windows don't open in the hotel. They're not allowed outside. They literally haven't breathed fresh air for 2 weeks. Hey, LeBron, how about that?
And
right? You're missing Christmas? Too bad. The kids have been in a Red Deer hotel for 2 weeks with no windows.
No air, no sunlight. He'll be just fine. And I heard he asked his mom to send him a little diffuser, didn't he?
He sure did, Lindsay. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
Nicely scented air. Oh, I'm a regular. All right, stick around.
You're watching Jay and Dan, brought to you by McDonald's with special guest co-host Lindsay Hamilton. It is the MLS Western Conference Final. Seattle, Minnesota. Makai DeBassi With the header to the bottom of the corner, that doubles the lead for Minnesota. Canadian keeper Dane St. Clair has kept a clean sheet in 8 of 15 games this year.
Playing the way he does. That doesn't happen without
But the Sounders refuse to go away. Down 2-0. We're in the 75th. Will Bruin breaks St. Clair's shutout streak at 383 minutes. Lead cut to 1. Final minute, Seattle corner. Raul Ruiz past St. Clair. And we're tied. And now we're going to extra time. 3 goals in the final 20 minutes of play. First time in his career the Canadian St. Clair has allowed 3 goals in a game. Just an unbelievable comeback, bringing an end to St. Clair and Minnesota's season. St. Clair was just incredible, though. What a great, bright future Canadian soccer has with him between the pipes. But it is Seattle off to the MLS Cup final, where they will face the Columbus Crew. A couple of terrific fan bases here. The Sounders, what a powerhouse they are in the West. They've made the MLS Cup final in 4 of the past 5 years. The final will be Saturday, right here on TSN. Coverage starts at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
It is Who Delivered, brought to you by Mixed Delivery. Josh Allen had his 3rd game this season with 300-plus passing yards and 4+ touchdown passes, the most in franchise history. He led the Bills to the franchise's first win on Monday Night Football since Week 4 of the 1999 season. It's been a while. Josh Allen delivered.
Wow, 1990.
It's been a long time.
It's incredible.
All right, let's go to some CFL news, shall we?
Let's do it.
The Edmonton football team, GM and VP of football operation, Brock Sunderland, has signed a contract extension through the 2023 season. The team is 31-27 with Sunderland in his 3 years on the job. And the BC Lions have named head coach Rick Campbell and football operations director Neil McAvoy as co-general managers, taking over for Ed Hervey, who stepped down back in October. Campbell was named Lions head coach back in December of 2019. So some big changes around the CFL. And the BC Lions looking to reach a division final for the first time since 2016. It's been a minute, so they want to shake things up, understandably so.
And you know, it's either that or it's the Ed Hervey situation with Mike Riley and the contract, and whether there was money guaranteed in the contract, whether everyone knew about it. It was, yeah, it's a bit of a mess out there. Edmonton's done great with Sunderland as their GM. They've reached the division final twice. So I like getting CFL news right now. I miss the league so much this year.
It's so weird that we didn't have a Grey Cup this year. I can't wait till next year.
So it's nice to get, even though it's executive news. I realize it's not.
We still enjoy it.
We enjoyed it. The Jets have fired their defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, coming less than a day after he called an all-out blitz with 13 seconds left on Derek Carr's 46-yard game-winning touchdown to Henry Ruggs. The team is named Frank Bush as interim defensive coordinator.
Are we that surprised?
Yeah, Greg Williams, the Bounty Gate architect, widely regarded as just not a good human being by many, many players who played for him. Yeah, I don't feel the least bit bad about this. I feel good about it,
And I mean, that call against the Raiders was questionable. It was kind of the nail in the coffin. And the Jets remain winless. They are 0-12.
Yeah. Ask Jabari Greer what he thinks of Greg Williams.
Okay, maybe that will be our next chat topic.
Next time we have him on.
All right. This may be my favorite part of the show.
Yes.
Breakdancing officially became an Olympic sport Monday.
That's amazing.
The IOC's pursuit of urban events to lure a younger audience saw street dances battles officially added to the medal events program at the upcoming 2024 Paris Games. 3 other new sports, skateboarding, sport climbing, and surfing will debut in 2021 after the 2020 Tokyo Olympics were postponed. Now, other fun facts about this, breakdancing will be referred to as breaking, so make sure you're caught up with the lingo.
Oh, I saw breaking to Electric Boogaloo like we all did.
The current world champs hail from Netherlands in the men's and Japan in the women's competition.
Okay.
And I hear that you're a pretty good breakdancer.
I am not.
Rumor has it.
But I am intrigued. One thing I thought about, Lindsay, who's judging this? Like all the cast of Electric Boogaloo? Shabadoo? Shabadoo is your judge.
Well, I mean, the world champs come from Netherlands and Japan, so maybe we should talk to our world champs about it.
Maybe we should. Okay, Lindsay, this is also very exciting. I made appearances on new episodes of Miss Persona on Treehouse, where I play sports reporter Chester Butterfield. Here's one of the cameos. Breaking news! Brandon Bear has completed his first somersault. From all of us here at Channel Tree, Brandon, we are so proud of you.
Jay, that is quite the getup.
Channel Tree, get it?
I do. I have to ask about the stash. That looks a little longer than what you had going on with your Movember run.
Right, it was not a real mustache.
No.
Yeah, I had that glued on.
But you rock it well.
It was fun, really fun. What a nice group of people, nice cast. And yeah, hopefully get to come back for season 3.
And tomorrow you're going to wear that same outfit for this show?
Absolutely not.
Right.
Lindsay, when we come back, our Jenny journey through the NHL continues. We're going to the Metropolitan Division, right? Should be fun. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to SportsCenter with Jay and Dan. I'm not Dan, I'm Lindsay. Oh, I'm going to kick off the Jannies, the best goals in the Metro Division. Jay, I don't know if I should be reading this one, because it's Andrei Svechnikov. I feel like you give that a good twist of a voice. One of the greatest goals of the 2020 season. Did it twice. First, the lack-style goal against the Flames. Then again, just over a month later against the Jets.
You're off the case, Svechnikov. Doesn't really Svechnikov. Sonny Milano. Yeah, remember when that happened? John Tortorella was actually seemed excited on the bench.
Almost. Isles Devils, this from January. Nico Hischier doing this one all by his lonesome. Fights off Matt Barzal. Nice little spin move around Josh Bailey. And then roofs the backhand past Thomas Greiss. Look at him go. Nico, the one-man show.
To come up with big plays as of late.
Caps and Bruins from December. TJ Oshie gets around Connor Clifton, goes to the backhand past friend of SportsCenter with Jay and Dan, Yaroslav Halak. TJ Oshie among the top goal scorers in the Metro last season.
Devils Rangers from the first preseason game last year. 21-year-old prospect. Mikhail Maltsev steals the puck, loses his balance. No problem. Nice goal. Shades of Forsberg right there. Slick hands by Maltsev.
Maltsev. Flyers caps from March. Derek Grant. The soccer assist. The redirection to the big center, Kevin Hayes, for the easy goal. Kevin Hayes had a good season with Philly last year.
Sure did. All right, let's go Caps Isles, shall we? Game 3 of the first round in OT. Matt Barzal. He's already been in the Jannies once. Let's see what he does here. Sneaks behind the D. Outweights Braden Holtby. Slides in the game winner.
Taking a feed from our friend Jordan Eberle, who did not invite us to his wedding. Before getting traded to the Lightning, Blake Coleman scored this ridiculous one-handed goal for the Devils against the Jets back in October. And those are the top goals from the Metro this past season.
I really enjoyed having hockey in the show.
Right?
I've missed it a lot.
It's a great idea from producer Tim. He's very creative.
So clever.
We'll see you right after. I will do that. I will.
Time now for the worst play of the day. Bills 49ers game. After stuffing the Niners on 4th and 1 in swing possession, Zach Moss fumbles the handoff from Josh Allen. The rookie running back gives the ball right back to the opposition after stealing the momentum that led to a 49ers TD. Probably not a good time to come up with the first fumble of your career.
Well, I wonder what the highlight of the night could be then. Fourth quarter, Pittsburgh, Washington football team, Alex Smith to Cam Sims with the defender on him, Also, the one-handed grab. That set up the game-winning field goal for Washington. And that is your highlight of the night.
It was nice. All right, just one, you blew it. Jay, you said LeBron and Anthony Davis will play at least 2 more seasons together for the Lakers. It is actually 3 more seasons. LeBron signed a 2-year extension with 1 year left on his current contract.
Okay.
A very minor note. You also said you don't feel for LeBron because he won't be celebrating his Christmas.
And I love LeBron, by the way. I just want to make that clear. Mike Garafolo, by the way, our NFL insider. You see him every Thursday on the show or Friday morning. There he is with his wife, Jessica, and their newborn daughter, Vivian. And big sister Carmen is at home, very excited about Vivian coming home. But we just wanted to say a shout out to Mike and Jessica. Congratulations. We couldn't be happier for you guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a cute
Very cool.
family.
I know. Yeah, everyone but Mike. They're adorable.